CG with A.R.T. We're rebuilding a Ford F-150 2003 F-150 4.6 liter engine. Here's the timing cover pulled and harmonic balance pulled off. As you can see, all the timing marks we got lined up 10 degrees before top dead center, and that will keep us from the cams popping back and hitting the valve once we get the chains loose. Basically just letting the piston down before top dead center just a little bit, so like I say, so the valves won't, so the gear won't pop back and hit the top of the piston and bend the valve. Anyway, we're going to replace all these guide rails in here, as you can see, and go ahead, and they don't look bad at all, but we're going to do it anyway, and clean up all this sludge and stuff like that. Well, the reason why we got into doing this job was because we thought that the intake gasket was leaking into the number one cylinder here. As you can see how close the gasket, the water jacket, is to the actual intake track. Well, I've seen it before where this gasket will be flat or just actually a chunk of it missing, and it'll seep over into the cylinder and get the spark plug wet. It causes it to skip. I guess it's a common problem. I've seen a few people have the same problem, but they'll think it's a coil pack or something like that. Or we compression tested the engine and found it had 185 pounds per cylinder, so that's pretty good. And we did a leak down test to see if there was anything else, but it's the actual head gasket right around the sealing area. That's where it's actually leaking and squirting water over into the cylinder. One of the spark plugs, you can actually look at it, you'll see it. We actually, this one was wet yesterday, but it's dried up now, but this one was in pretty bad shape. So I actually stuck another one in there, used one to clean a clean one, just to watch what it would do. And it got real dirty again with water, and all the other ones, as you can see, the tips are clean because we just bought these. And we did all the regular stuff, water pump, thermostat, and this is where we're at. So we're about to actually go ahead and unbolt these heads and do all these timing chains and everything like that. So this is just part one. It's kind of a pain in the ass doing end cap, but it's not too bad. You just have to unplug your harnesses and so forth here, and get all these loose out of the way. It screws in from the backside. This one clips in, and then on the very back here, there's a couple of bolts back there with a ground strap, as you can see here, and it's way back on the back of the head back there. It's kind of tedious. Some guys like to actually pull the cab to do the job, but we had limited space where we're doing it at, as you can see. So I just set it up on stands here, like so. I pull the inner fender well down, as you can see, so we can also get a very, very straight view to get the exhaust bolts loose to pull the manifolds. We already broke these loose yesterday, and we had to spray them down to get the nuts to break loose. Oxygen sensor is fine. It's just going to stay in the downpipe, and the same for the other side. But this will help with us pulling the manifold and then lift the head off. And these are the underguard shields here we had to take out. Not very, very hard to do this way, but some people don't like to do it. They like to lift the cab off, but well, I'll show you the other side while I'm over here. And you can kind of get to everything. I just put a long extension with a socket on the end up through to get the bolts, loose under here. And we just spray these down as well. PB Blast or any other type of silicone type lubricant and these will just slide down for whatever case may be. And then we're able to get to all the bolts again. I sprayed them yesterday. Actually, I need to spray them again. And you know, your actual oil funnel here, so forth. It's kind of tricky, you know, getting it out of there, but you can't really get it out without really finagling to get it out of there. And we did a block drain. We removed the block drain to get all the water out of the block. As you can see, the hole here. I'm trying to get my hand up here so you can see it. There's the block drain there. Right there. And it's just a Allen key needed to get it off, and that'll get all the water out of the block. So when you pull the heads, you won't have antifreeze and stuff running all over the place, making a mess. So stay tuned. This is part 1, so part 2 will be coming up as soon as I get the heads off today. Stay tuned. CJ with A.R.T. Restore your car at yahoo.com.